What in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, man? It's your boy Big Low Country. I hope everybody out there is doing good, feeling great tonight. First, for everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us, and I definitely and greatly appreciate that, Bo. So, first of all, if you're watching the show after we've gone live already, make sure that you put a what in the world Bo in the chat. Also, if this is your first time chilling out with us, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you subscribe. Share the channel with your friends and family. Hope everybody's doing good on this hump night. You know, look, hump night is it's because we halfway through the week. It ain't what y'all, you know what? We ain't even finna go there. First of all, let me show love to everybody who's showing love to me. Boomer the Falcon. Much love to you, Bo. What in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. John Brooks is in here. Says, what in the world, Bo? Let's go, Falcons. Let's go, Falcons Nation all day. Yes, you already know. Joseph Thornton's in here. I know he got that oil for me. What's going on, Joseph Thornton? Hope you're doing good, my family. Hope you're doing good. Um, so got Grandizer. He says, you may follow the misadventures of Big Low. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, pretty much everywhere you at, we at, Bo. Everywhere you at, we at. We got Nate Bill in here. What's going on, my family? Hope you're doing good tonight. Hope you're doing good tonight. So the topic for tonight's show is a little bit different. And basically, um, if there are any Eagles fans that are watching, first of all, want to let you know, I don't know if y'all feel this way, but the Atlanta Falcons, we feel like we have a little bit of a ride with you, know. Y'all, uh-oh. Okay, all right. We should beat y'all to go to the Super Bowl. It didn't happen. All kinds of stuff like that. It's a whole bunch. Also, the whole Michael Vick situation. But one thing that I will acknowledge, one thing that I'll definitely acknowledge is the fact that y'all run a legit organization up there in Philly, Bo. And I can't even knock it. Y'all run a legit organization. Here we are, days away from the Super Bowl. It looks like y'all might be getting your second Super Bowl in what, about 5 years? You can't beat that, Bo. You can't beat that. So whenever I was a little boy, in the words of Morgan Freeman, when I was a little boy, whenever I was a little boy, my dad used to tell me, he said, look, son, look at the people who are doing the things that you want to do and try to ask them questions, get knowledge from them, and see if you could put yourself in a like-minded situation. I'm telling you something, Bo. I'm sitting here like, yes. The first thing I did was I said, well, let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. My Atlanta Falcons are a young team. Philadelphia Eagles are a fairly young team. So it's one of those situations where I'm like, well, let's look at them Philadelphia Eagles and see what they got going on, Bo. So, one thing that I was looking at, I just started comparing both of the teams, side by side. I said, okay, so Philadelphia, they have an MVP caliber quarterback in a Jalen Hurts. Okay, Falcons have Desmond Ritter. We don't know who Desmond Ritter is yet, but uh, a lot of the, in the words of my own homeboy ATLGA faithful, the Falcon faithful, the Falcon faithful have faith in him. Now the thing is that we still don't know what he is, right? Brian Peoples, what in the world? Beloved. Joe Thornton said, but you got a beard, Bo. Wait, see, look, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Brian. Joseph Thornton. Reason why I got a beard, I've really been concentrating on this new endeavor that I'm trying to go after. I don't know the last time you watched, but I feel like I could be the next quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. Um, I ran my 40 today, so I'll be having that content for y'all pretty soon. But I'm getting kind of scruffy because I'm having Zoom focus. The beard is a symbol of the struggle. Alfonso, what in the world, Bo? What's going on, fam? Hope you doing good, man. Hope you doing good. Iron Mike's in here. What's going on, Iron Mike? What's going on? So yeah, so the first thing that you look at whenever you compare two teams side by side, you look at the quarterback, right? Like I said, we got Desmond Ritter. The Eagles have Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts celebrated college quarterback, Alabama, Oklahoma. All the girls go crazy. Uh, LL Cool J. Ladies love Jalen. Okay, all right. So moving forward, let's look at the backfield in general. You got your running backs. Eagles, they have Miles Sanders for now, Kenneth Gainwell. Who do the Atlanta Falcons have? We have Tyler Algier, Caleb Huntley, Cordero Patterson. I would say that's pretty comparable, right? I would say that's pretty comparable. Okay, you look at the wide receivers. What wide receivers do they have? Okay, they have AJ Brown, big name, big splash, AJ Brown. They got Devontae Smith, right? They got Quez Watkins. They got some talent. We got Drake London, Lamade Zaccheaus, Demir Bird. They pretty much got the best of us as far as that, right? Now, offensive line. You could kind of say the offensive lines might be pretty comparable. They got the Travis Kelce's, the Malatas, and they got some big name offensive linemen. But in a sense, we got some big name offensive linemen too. You're right, Brian Peoples. We do have Avery Williams. But the thing is that I just went down the line and compared both of them, right? Now, I would say put a 1 or 2 in the chat if it's one of those situations where you think, hey, which team is better? But one team is playing in the Super Bowl and the other team is playing. Well, other team didn't make it to the playoffs, right? Now, that's looking at the broad side of it. You look at it, this position group against this position group. Then you look at it from the coach's perspective, right? Now, one thing I do want to acknowledge is that the Atlanta Falcons played the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 last season, first game of the year, and Philadelphia kicked us in between the washing machine and the dryer. They took it to us, Bo. Let's admit it. Hargraves was just living in the backfield. He brought his lunch pail with him, right? Fletcher Cox, all those guys. We got drugged. Sirianni, first year head coach last year, played his rookies, played his whole team, his starting team in the preseason. The Atlanta Falcons with Arthur Smith, first year head coach, didn't. So that being said, we can kind of say as of right now, as of today, as of February 8th, 2023, we can say that the coaching may be better. Now, thing is, the front office. That's the situation. That's the whole, I feel like that's where we got to make sure whenever we consider exactly what's going on both sides, the front office. How do both teams stack up in the front office? Because whenever we look at it, we say, look, guys, the Atlanta Falcons just haven't had the talent. For the last few years, we haven't had the talent. There's too much dead cap that's affecting the Atlanta Falcons. How can we get the talent? The front office. The front office. So we're actually going to look at an over the cap to see exactly how both teams stack up when it comes to the salary cap and basically see where both teams are trending. And the thing I love about this over the cap website is that you can kind of see where teams are going in the future. Like you see the Saints, you know that it's about over. You see Tampa Bay, you can tell it's about over. The third boom says, you about to say something crazy, ain't you? No, I ain't finished. Well, it might be crazy. It might be crazy. Reggie's in here. What in the world, Bo? What's going on with you? Brian People says Jalen Mayfield's out of position. He is. He should be playing tackle. Norman Fitzgerald says, low that jacket. I appreciate it, Bo. Appreciate you feeling the jacket. I'm rocking the starter. Got the Falcons on the sleeve. I don't know if you can see it. Coach only be hating because I be getting all the Falcons gear. She said I buy too much Falcons gear. I said, hey, you know, I'm Big Low Kuntry. I got to rock the Falcons gear. So, but yeah. It's like that's the thing. We got to look at the front office, guys. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at over the cap for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to talk about why the Philadelphia Eagles are in the Super Bowl this season and what the Atlanta Falcons can do to get to the Super Bowl next season. How about that, Bo? How about that? Ghost Peppers, what in the world, Bo? Got J-Ball in here. What's going on, my family? Hope you're doing good tonight. Young Men of Faith, Jamal. Molly says, Big Low, I heard you were talking nonsense. Oh, what? What? See, you saying it's nonsense because it's one of those situations where we're not talking about being like the New Orleans Saints. That's what that is. We ain't talking about being like the Saints. So you saying it's nonsense. Get the hate out your heart, Molly Mall. Dana says, what you talking about, Big Low? What in the world, Dana? Oh, man. Molly Mall says, Big Low, I heard you got butt naked and jumped in the pool for Ryan Nelson. See, Molly Mall, you just talking about, you talking about what you be doing, all that, all that scandalous stuff you got going on. Jay Black says, Coach, don't drink too much of that moonshine. He said, I'm gonna house that jacket. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So let me show y'all something. Let's see here. Share my screen with you. All right. So y'all let me know when you can see my screen. If you can see my screen, put a 1 in the chat. If you can see my screen, put a 1 in the chat. Corey Harris, what's going on, man? Millie Mill says, Alo, that's that hoodie with the bird on the back. Nah, he don't got a bird on the back, bro. He ain't got a bird. I'll tell you somebody who got a fresh hoodie, though. Old Twisted Torch. He got that old Tommy Hilfiger hoodie. I'm mad at him because I wanted one, but they didn't make them in 3X. Tommy Hilfiger don't like the big folks. Tommy Hilfiger don't like the big folks. Oh man. So let me see here. So okay, so y'all say y'all can see my screen perfect. All right, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger for you so you can see it really good. So check this out. Now, what is one thing that you see that you normally don't see on a team's roster when it comes to the money? Now, just a few observations that I have. Number one, the biggest cap number. Check this out, guys. The biggest cap number is $26 million. That's the biggest cap number. Now, you could go to almost every other team, that got all these superstars. You see the 30s, the 40s. If you have a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, 50, you see all these big cap numbers. Now, as far yeah, I want to stop seeing the ad. As far as the Philadelphia Eagles, you see $26 million. You can't beat that, Bo. Number one, that's how you build a balanced team. Definitely. Raymond Elders, hello, what's going on, Bo? Molly Mall says, I repeat, y'all are not going to be the Molly Mall. Come on now, get the hate out. Yeah, we're going to be the Falcons. We're going to be a different kind of bird that swoops down on you and get you. Tony Wright, shouts out to Tony Wright, man. He said, shouts out to him. He said that he was misquoted because he was partying with Julio Jones and Scrokers. He says, Big Low, it is what it is. I was misquoted on Smitty's channel. I said that Matt Ryan will sign in San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo leaving and Brock Purdy having elbow surgery. He'll miss the 2023 season. Hey, we don't know, bro. That the thing is, we'll get a chance to actually see what happens. But I'm going to tell y'all, check this out. Bill says, Bo, I think cap is cap, Bo. Well, one thing that the Saints have shown us, Elite Guys LLC, he's a Saints fan. One thing that the Saints have showed us is that, they don't really care about the cap. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do with the cap. But look at this, Darius Slay. Darius Slay is their biggest cap here. Everybody remembers Darius Slay, cornerback from the Detroit Lions. They actually traded for him. Two of their big guys they traded for him, Darius Slay and AJ Brown. They seen a need, made a trade for it. Now they're in the Super Bowl. Thing is, check this out: $26 million. Next biggest guy, Lane Johnson, offensive lineman, $24 million. So you see this. Big positions of need, like our offensive line. If we go down the line, Lane Johnson, Travis Kelce, Jordan Mailata, those three guys are in your top six. When it comes to your salary cap, right? Now moving forward, as far as position guys, AJ Brown is the top guy, the top position player, and moving forward. This year is only $8 million. Number one is because he had got a big signing bonus whenever he signed with the Eagles. But I mean, just moving forward, the thing about this Eagles team is that they're young, right? Dallas Goedert is their next offensive position guy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brian Peoples. I meant Jason Kelce. Yeah, I meant Jason Kelce. My bad. But yeah. Dallas Goedert is their next offensive position guy. Devontae Smith, he's the third. No, check this out. You haven't seen a running back yet. You haven't seen a running back. You also haven't seen a wide receiver. So as we continue to go down, I'm looking for Jalen Hurts. Okay, yeah. So I see Jalen Hurts here. His cap hit is $4.7 million. That's the benefit of taking a guy in the second round. Now, I want to ask the chat, do y'all see any similarities between this Philadelphia Eagles team and the Atlanta Falcons? If you do see some similarities, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't see any, put a 2 in the chat. If you see any similarities, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't see any, put a 2 in the chat. Man, I get sick. I get sick seeing this right here. Jordan Davis just sitting on their roster. Just sitting on the roster. $3.8 million. Just doing it big. Doing it big. Now, the thing is, guys, okay, the votes are coming in. Row City, Row got that hate in his heart. Grandizer, they don't see the similarities. Jay Black says he sees some similarity. Billy Mills says he don't see it. Molly Mall, he put 22 twos. He said he don't see the similarities. RJ ATL, he says he sees some. Boomer the Falcon, he says he sees some. Oh, Blink Eyelashes says he don't see the similarities. Probably because she ain't going to the Beyonce concert. I feel like falling in love. Joseph Thornton said he sees the similarities. Granddad said they both birds. That's it. Yes, Davis and Dean. Jay Black says, Coach low cap for the quarterback position. Hello, yes, low cap for the quarterback position. Also, another thing that I see whenever I look at this roster, number one, this year they kind of went all in. If you look at this roster, they're going to have a lot of free agents next year. So everywhere where you see the zeros, that means that they're not going to have there's no cap savings because they're pretty much just going to get released. So the Javon Hargrave, the Jordan Mailata, the James Bradbury, who could possibly be an Atlanta Falcon next year, Kazir White. It's like those are some big names that eventually have a possibility to hit free agency. But some of the biggest things that I see, the biggest similarities are that this is a young team, right? This is a young team. This team has the ability to go to the playoffs for many years to come because they just got a good young nucleus, right? I mean, you got the Jordan Davises, you got the Josh Sweats, you got the Jalen Hurts. You know, you got the veterans like the Jason Kelce's and the Darius Slays and the Lane Johnsons who are at the top of your board. But I mean, but Devontae Smith, um, uh, Gainwell, who I desperately wanted, N'Kobe Dean. You got all of these young Thundercats who are going to be here and on rookie deals for years to come. My whole thing is, why can't the Atlanta Falcons be like the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, that's my thing because check this out, guys. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons roster, top of the board, you got Jake Matthews and Grady Jarrett, 28 and 20 million. But you see Marcus Overthrow Oda over there. He's not going to be on the roster long. At least let's hope not. Hopefully he doesn't rekindle, a relationship with Arthur Smith and is wrestling anytime soon. But you got your Chris Lindstrom, who he's gonna have to get paid. But check out the rest of this roster, guys. You got your guys like your Chris Lindstroms, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, AJ Terrell. I mean, shoot, Matt Hennessy. We don't know if he's still going to be here. Michael Walker. We don't know if he's going to be here. Richie Grant, Arnold Ebiketie. I know y'all don't like it, but Jalen Mayfield, Troy Anderson, Desmond Ritter, salary cap hit $1.2 million for 2023. D'Angelo Malone, Darren Hall, Taquan Graham. All these guys are young guys. Tyler Algier. Check this out, guys. $950,000. Basically, the point that I'm making is there are similarities between the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the big question is, can the Atlanta Falcons make those blockbuster trades or those blockbuster moves like the Philadelphia Eagles and bring in those guys to help put them over the hump? The same way they brought in the AJ Terrells and the same way that they brought in Darius Slays. That's the question at the end of the day. And I know Saints fans are wandering aimlessly around the bayou, upset, hating. Shouts out to Elite guys. And Molly Mall. I know they walking aimlessly around the bayou hating. Can't get that hate out of their heart. Elite Goods LLC, my bad. But the thing is, at the end of the day, guys, is that there's no reason why the Falcons can't be in the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs next season. Why not? We already got a stranglehold on the division. Why can't the Atlanta Falcons make that run? Joker, he says Falcons weren't supposed to be good. Terry set us up for success by cutting huge dead weight contracts. This is our time. Next year, we'll make the playoffs. I see us back in the Super Bowl in 2 seasons. I could definitely see that, Bo. Because if I'm mistaken, and y'all, if I'm right or wrong, the Philadelphia Eagles didn't make it to the playoffs last year. If I'm not, I think they were like a game out, but they didn't make it to the playoffs last year. So as I look at this roster, and I'm seeing, I think Ogundeji is gone, but as I'm looking at this roster, and I'm seeing guys like the Taquan Grahams who could be a good rotational piece, the D'Angelo Malones, the Troy Andersons, and the Desmond Ritters, the Arnold Ebiketis, who are sitting right there snug in the middle of your cap roster. I mean your cap hit. I'm sitting here thinking, well, why not? Because as far as dead money, you're going from $70 million in a dead cap hit to 13 because we did trade away Deion Jones. You had to do what you had to do. You got to cut the dead weight somehow, Bo. But at the end of the day, long term, it's not going to do nothing but help you. Millie Mill says, Low, the first thing we got to do is get 70 sacks of the season with a top pass defense as well. I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay, J Mall said that the Eagles did make it to the first round last year. Okay, I appreciate that because I couldn't remember. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that if you can make the moves to get the guys like the Josh Sweats, the Hargraves, the Derek Barnetts, the Jordan Davises, the Hassan Riddicks, if you could get the guys like that on your team, I don't see why we can't get 70 sacks. I repeat, Terry Fontenot said that this team, this offseason is gonna be the most different offseason in Atlanta Falcons history. So you're telling me, as a Falcons fan, that I don't have to worry about having Marlon Davidson? I don't have to worry about, I can actually move on from dealing with the okay. I'm just looking at the names, and it's like the Ogundeji's who had the worst pass rush PFF grade this season. You telling me that I could upgrade from an Ogundeji and get a guy like a Sweat or get a guy like a Hassan Riddick? You're telling me I can make a move like that? Or you're telling me that Arnold Ebiketie has the potential to be a Hassan Riddick? You telling me that? So, and don't forget, there's a name that's on this cap, that's on this over the cap that's not on there yet, because I'm going to tell y'all something. I put it on Twitter earlier today. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see it, but, I ran my 40-yard dash today. So, ain't no telling what I'm going to be bringing to the situation. You see what I'm saying? I ran my 40-yard. Look, I'm making the announcement. I ran my 40-yard dash today. So it's one of those cases where you're telling me you're going to have all that talent, people talking about getting the Gibbs from Alabama or getting the Keenan Allen, and you're going to have Big Low Kuntry as the quarterback? Because after I ran my 40, first of all, I do want to let y'all know, I want to ask y'all, does anybody know how to, what to do with a pop hamstring? I'm not saying it's really connected to, me running 40-yard dash, but does anybody know what the pop hamstring? I just want to know. I just want to know. RJATL says RJATL says Big Low for Falcons quarterback coach instead. And look, I'll take the quarterback coach job. Tony Wright said, look, man, he says, I'll settle for 56 sacks. That's a more realistic goal. I mean, yeah, shoot. If I could get 56 instead of 20 something, I would be more than good. Brian People says, I thought Philly did. I thought they was the 7th seed last. Okay, so they did sneak in there. Okay. And Joseph Thorpe said, look, man, we have rookies that contributed big time. Rose City, he says, you can see Falcons in the Super Bowl. I can see the little fish driving Big Low, dun. That's a Superman truck. Oh man. Skylar Thomas says, Big Low, I'm still disappointed that we didn't get Jordan Davis in the first round and Pickens in the second. Yeah, that was tough. But we are where we are now. Derek White says, Big Low, your title is not going to happen. Oh man. But I was trying to get the Coach Ghost Pepper conversation. I mean, going into this offseason, that the pass rush is the main concern, right? And Ghost Peppers, he says right here, it says, hey, Coach Low, I want the nastiest defensive line money can buy. Look, I think everybody in here agrees with you. Everybody's in here showing you support, Coach Ghost Peppers, as they always do, because you're always coming as the voice of reason. But I completely agree with you. ATL GFA was say, "Hey man, I settled for 30 sacks." He's like, "I work with that." ATL GFA was said, "Bro, if you popped it, it's gonna hurt sitting down. I don't know if you can see I'm leaning to the side right now, coach." Now, I'm not saying that it happened whenever I was running the 40, but know, I'm just saying. Coach Padre said Big Low hamstring rolled in the back of his leg like grandma's raggedy window shade. Hello, I hang up and listen. Oh man. Look, man, I ain't fooling with y'all, boy. I ain't fooling with y'all. Like I said, once again, I ain't saying that it happened when I ran the 40. I'm just asking if anybody knows what to do about a pop hamstring because it's hurting and I can't bend over. I can't bend over and pick stuff up. Look, man, appreciate that, Coach Ghost Peppers. Thank you so much. That's that. Da da da. That's a Superman chat. But I do want to ask the chat though. Did it make sense? Did it make sense? If you feel like it made sense what I was saying, put a 3 in the chat. If you feel like it's one of those cases where if you don't see what I'm saying when I'm making the comparison for the Atlanta Falcons to the Philadelphia Eagles, put a 4 in the chat. I just want to know what y'all are saying. I mean, what y'all are thinking. Because the thing is, guys, is that we all know we've seen it happen. Some of us have seen it happen twice. To go to the Super Bowl, everything has to fit together, right? Everything has to fall at the same time. And I'm just saying that I think that this might be the time. Now is the time. Derek White, he said, cold rub. Hey man, look, Bo. I've been sitting and laying on frozen peas, frozen spinach, everything I find in the freezer. I got a cold press that I can put in the freezer, but it just doesn't stay cold long. yeah. I definitely do. I just hate getting into that cold tub. Coach Padre said, "What's the 40-time coach though?" Man, see, I can't release that information to you. Coach Roney told me I had to wait to release the 40-time information. But look, hopefully I'll be getting that video done very soon so we can share it with y'all. Because I'm telling y'all, we're gonna document the whole process. We're gonna document because I'm gonna see y'all at training camp. And I'm not gonna be in the stands. I come over and sign an autograph for you. You can sell it on eBay. Oh man, Joker. He says he sees what I'm talking about. Coach Granddaughter, he said on agree. J Mall says he sees what I'm saying whenever I make the comparison between the Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. Ben Quavius, he says he don't see it. He said he don't see it. Live Oak says he understands what I'm saying. Tremel says, talking to a false start Falcon, a strong possibility. Okay. The third boom says he just don't see it. He just don't see it happening. Joker says, are you making sense? These dudes just want results. Oh yeah, and I want results too, Bo. I definitely want results as well. J Mall says 3, but only if we keep Ritter, Bo. And that's the thing, because as y'all seen, Jalen Hurts, his cap number was only $2.7 million. Desmond Ritter's was only $1.2 million. So the thing is that we have a choice to make some of those big blockbuster trades like the Eagles did whenever they got AJ Brown, because Devontae Smith, you drafted Devontae Smith, but you put AJ Brown beside him, that just makes both of them more dangerous, right? So imagine if you get another guy to put beside a Drake London, a legit wide receiver. He doesn't have to have the same ability of AJ Brown. Everybody's talking about McCole Hardman. Keenan Allen came up. We know that he's injury prone, but if you put a legit wide receiver like a McCole Hardman next to a Drake London, and you got Kyle Pitts running across the middle of that field, running up the seam of the field, man, you can't beat it, bro. You can't beat it. Coach Padre says he sees what I'm talking about. J Mom says we go big fish hunting. we will deplete the roster. Bro, I hear you. ATLGA Faithful says Aints drafted Rankins first in 2016. So the connection and price is right. Bill says, Low, explain to me how the Chiefs still made it paying the big quarterback money. Okay. Yeah, I definitely, the Chiefs, they're the other team that's in the Super Bowl, right? Now, one thing that we do have to consider is that, number one, you're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're talking about a great quarterback, great head coach combo, right? And the Chiefs. Make sure that y'all can see me. Okay. Coach, the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs to the Super Bowl. So the thing is that ourselves some leeway. Now, y'all know I normally prep before my shows, but we're going to look at the Kansas City Chiefs as well. ATLTA Faithful says he sees it. Coach Padre says, how many days was it to run? Wow, Coach. Wow, keep the hate out your heart, Coach. See, I gotta call Coach Ashley on you. Joker says, bring me to Ron Payne and Keenan Allen. Alfonso and Coach Ghost Peppers, they see what I'm saying whenever I make that comparison. The boss said he wants the autograph. Padre says, from JUCO to the league, the Big Low story. Oh my goodness. All right, so look at here. We're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, right? So as you can see, their cap number is very top heavy, right? You know, Patrick Mahomes cap number $46 million. $40 million of it was fully guaranteed. You know, and he had that prorated bonus. Base salary was $5.5 million. So we knew, you know, before we even looked at this, that that Patrick Mahomes was going to be at the top. I'm kind of surprised because, you know, you got your Frank Clarks and your Chris Jones. Both of those guys are some beasts. They're some monsters. $28 million a piece. One thing that I can say about the Kansas City Chiefs is, check this out, guys. Is I don't know if y'all remember, after that Super Bowl, whenever they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was one of those cases where those guys, they had to completely rebuild. They had to completely rebuild their offensive line. They did it. They went and got the Creed Humphreys, and you know, they went ahead and made the key moves, the Joe Thunnies, and you know, they made some moves. But check this out. Kansas City just drafted doggone good, bro. You know, you look at the top of this thing, and one big thing that I see is that Travis Kelce got $14 million this year, which is a complete and utter steal for a guy of Travis Kelce's talent. But look at the rest of these guys moving forward. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they drafted him like 2-3 years ago. L'Jarius Sneed, George Karlaftis, they traded for Kadarius Toney, but he's still on his rookie deal. He's only getting $1.9 million. Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, Sky Moore, Leo Chenal. Y'all know I wanted him bad in the draft last year. It's like, so they got all of these young Thundercats that they drafted, and all of them are contributing to the team. You know, all of them contribute. Yeah, Brian People did. Orlando Brown. You know, he's gonna want to get paid next year. But as you can see, the top of the roster is cap heavy, but they just drafted. They drafted well. And you know, Valdez Scantling, you know, that was their number one wide receiver at $11 million. And if we're completely honest, it's not looking like the Kansas City Chiefs are losing are hurting at all. They got Pacheco. He's only making $891,000. So you can't beat it, Bo. You can't beat it. So and this is what I'm saying. You just have to figure out how you're going to put your you got to figure out how you're going to put your offense and your defense together and make it team friendly. Because I don't know if y'all seen the video that I put out a couple of days ago when Travis Kelce was talking with Gronk. He said, "Look, oh, okay, Granddad is breaking up. Can y'all hear me now? If you can hear me, put a one in the chat." But Travis Kelce, he was talking with Gronk, and he said, "Well, look, Andy Reid is pretty much my career. So if Travis Kelce's making $14 million, well, he has an ability to make $20+ million. But he gets a chance to stay with Andy Reid. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to take less money because what works, right? Look, it's legit one of those things. Oh yeah, he said he rewatched that interview. Yeah, because look, at the end of the day, guys, like I said, everything has to come together at the right time, right? For us to legit finish the job. Everything has to come together. So you got to continue to draft well, because it's just like this Kansas City Chiefs team. This isn't just this year's draft. This isn't just Pacheco and Sky Moore. No, this is going back to last year with the Creed Humphreys. This isn't just George Karlaftis. It's like, so you're gonna have to draft well for multiple seasons, bring in key guys like your Kadarius Tonys, like your Juju Smith-Schusters. And you got to have the coaching to put guys in the right spot. And I just don't see why that can't be the Atlanta Falcons. The biggest question mark, let's be honest, the biggest question mark is the coaching. I'm just putting it out there, Bo. That's the biggest question mark at the end of the day. It's the coaching. Ty Terry, he comes in here. What's going on, Ty? He said, "Man, I just love Ritter's heart, man. I love him. I love me some Desmond Ritter, man. I love me some Desmond Ritter." Thing is that if you put this roster next to the Kansas City Chiefs roster, we don't have, we don't have the Frank Clarks. We don't have the Chris Jones on the roster. So if you go off and get somebody like a Lamar Jackson, you don't have that other talent that's already on the roster. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough unless Terry F. Baby could work something out. If Terry F. Baby could work something out, I'm good with it. Let's roll. Let's rock and roll. But looking at this roster today and looking at the cap number and the cap hit, because right now we're at what 50 something $million. And I just looking at it, don't have the and my homeboy respectfully. Oh man. So let me see here. We're gonna stop sharing. I think that's slowing me down. Okay. Yeah. So in the words of my homeboy Twisted Torch, respectfully, we don't have the roster to make that same kind of run like the Philadelphia Eagles are making, right? And get a Lamar Jackson. I'm just putting it out there. So I just want to ask the chat after kind of talking about this and looking at everything. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that the Atlanta Falcons can make a run at a Lamar Jackson and be able to make the moves like the Philadelphia Eagles made and put together a complete team? If you feel like they can do that, put a one in the chat. If they could do that, I would love it. If you feel like, we need to just stick with Ritter and stick with what we got, put a two in the chat. I just want to know what y'all are thinking. I want to know what y'all are thinking. Whew, boy, I tell you one thing, boy. The things that you go through the things that you go through to become the starting quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. Because my hamstring is killing me. My hamstring is killing me, boy. Billy Bill says, Big Low, you got that T-Mobile Wi-Fi, Bo? Nah, man, I ain't got the T. It's supposed to be AT&T, but I must be missing the T, Bo. Derek White says, Low, your stream breaking down like your team. What in the world? Come on, Derek. Don't do me like that, Derek. Don't do me like that. Oh man. Pilot said, Coach outrunning his internet. Hashtag the flash. I'll tell you something. After I ran that 40 today, I think I need to go to the doctor. It's not for the hamstring. And like I said, once again, I'm not saying that the hamstring is a result of running the 40, but it's just a coincidence that I have a hamstring issues the same day I ran the 40. But I think I gotta go to the doctor. It's not the hamstring. I have some issues with the neck. I think it might have been because I was running at breakneck speed. So I need to go to the doctor and get that checked out. I gotta get it checked out, boy. Oh man, John Brooks says, he says he feels like that is something that can happen. Todd Terry says, forget Lamar. Tron McBride says, draft for depth. Okay, I ain't even mad at that. What's going on, JJ? Trendy Clark's in here. What's going on, Trendy? Man, you ain't missed nothing. We just talking about how we were gonna make this run for the Super Bowl next year. You ain't missed nothing. Let's see here. So Grandizer, Trendy Clark, Molly Mall. Molly Mall says 2. He says y'all ain't finna get Lamar Jackson. Coach Padre, he says 1. He feels like you could go ahead and make that move. JJ the Great says 1. I'd be cool with get Lamar. J Miles says, look, man, we're better off with Ritter. Brian Peoples, he says he put the 22 twos. Dreddy says nobody wants that trash. Stop it, Big Low. Jokes over. Look, I just explained how I feel like we could build a team just like the Philadelphia Eagles, without a Lamar Jackson. Dreddy, he put 22 twos in here. RJATL, he says Lamar Jackson to the Falcons depends on the exclusive or non-exclusive franchise tag that the Ravens will place on them. Yeah, that definitely has something to do with it. Padre says, remember your sacrifices when it's negotiating time. Terry F. Baby, please say the baby got to break bread. And see now you throwing around words like sacrifices. That's telling me I'm gonna have to give up things that I don't want to give up. You know what I'm saying? Padre, appreciate that. That's that dun da da. That's a Superman chat. But yeah, that's telling me I'm gonna have to give up things that I don't want to really give up. Lee, what's going on, man? How you doing? Grandizer says, Coach Big Low Kuntry stream is breaking up. Sounds like a robot. Uh-oh. Derek White says, too bad we gotta play. Oh man, that's a great thing. We're gonna enjoy whipping up on the Saints this year. Dirty Bird 08 says, what's good, Low? He says, what do you think about getting Bates and the safety branch from Alabama? Make the secondary the strength like the Saints. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we look at last year, I don't think the secondary was really the strength last year. Now, whenever CJ Gardner Johnson was there, I could legit say that the secondary was, and the thing is that whenever they brought in Tyrann Mathieu, they thought they weren't going to miss a step. But, I think that front seven was kind of the strong suit for that Saints defense. And Saints fans, if you're in here, y'all feel free to chime in. But I feel like that front seven, I feel like that was the strong suit. Derek White, he says, Derek White says, why y'all trying to be like the Saints? Look, it's not a situation where we're trying to be like the Saints, Derek. We know that we have the Saints defensive coordinator, and we know that there's going to be some things that he's going to transfer from there to here. But no, we're not trying to be like the Saints. That's the last thing we want to do. Shouts out to you, Ty Terry. Shouts out to you, fam. But yeah, I mean, I think that it was always that defensive line, and those linebackers, that front seven. They played that multi-front defense, and you know, moving forward, that just kind of helped out that secondary. Derek White says our secondary was the strength. Nolo front seven didn't get much pressure. Well, I mean, over what, like the last 5 years, y'all like second in the league in sacks. And I know good and well, Derek, that all those weren't coverage sacks now. And I remember watching a lot of games where y'all got a lot of pressure. So I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, but I can't tell you about your team. Molly Miles says, Big Low, our whole defense was better than y'all defense. Hey, Molly Miles, see, you ain't got to go there. You ain't got to go there. Let's see here. Tony Wright says, we shouldn't make a run at quarterback Lamar Jackson. Absolutely not. We would have to give up too much draft capital. Plus, we just got a salary cap hit. Getting Lamar Jackson would put us right back there. And I agree with you. Like I said, just look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did. And, it's one of those cases where, you could legit make a run. And that's a big if. That's if Desmond Ridder is the guy. The thought and the hope is that they bring in a legit quarterback coach, because I don't know if y'all seen Charles London. He went to we lost him to the Tennessee Titans. He's the passing game coordinator. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. Why he's the passing game coordinator, I don't know, because it's not like our passing game was just blowing doors off the hinges last year. I think that's another example of the nepotism, and this is another example of the Atlanta Tennessee connection. They're trying to build him up and give him certain experience and put certain things on his resume so he can eventually apply for an offensive coordinator job. And as we seen this past season, whenever he was coaching up Marcus Mariota, and for the simple fact that he didn't play the quarterback position himself, I don't know if it's going to work out well. I feel sorry for Malik Willis. I feel like, I don't know what he could do for him, but it's definitely a sad situation. Mill says, Low, scared money don't make no money. And Mr. Blake and Mercedes-Benz need some more revenue coming into Atlanta. He says at the draft pick pockets, it's getting hit now. I hear you, Bo. I hear you. You ready to roll, ain't you? You ready to roll. Richard Drake says, coaches want to be a part of Arthur Smith's style of football. Teams are in trouble. And I'm hoping that you're right. I know Ryan Nielsen said that he agreed with Arthur Smith's philosophies and everything. And he said that, whenever he called him for the offer, he said that he was about to jump through the phone. He was ready to go. ATLGF Faithful says, yo, coach, Ridder will use Pitts way more than Mariota. Arthur Smith messed Pitts up by starting Mariota. Pitts about to take a year, Bo, or about to have a year, Bo. Yeah, I hope so. The main thing right now with Kyle Pitts is, let's just hope, he's rehabbing. His rehab is on time. I'm hoping that everything is going according to plan with his rehab, and we definitely wish him a speedy recovery. The King's Son says Grady Jarrett is our whole defense. Well, number 24 back there is a pretty good player, AJ Terrell. So we can't say Grady's our whole defense. He's definitely a big part, but I don't know if we can say he's our whole defense. Sherman, what's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good, fam. Hope you're doing good. Richard Drake says defense wins championships. Games are won in the trenches. D-line and O-line. Yeah. If you see, that Philadelphia Eagles team, three of their top 6 guys were offensive linemen, right? So, yes, it's definitely, those offensive and defensive lines They make a huge difference. Make a huge difference. And I agree to King, son. You know, I was saying the second game in that Marcus Mariota wasn't going to get us to the next level, but we rolled with it for 13 games and it wasted the season. This team could have went to the playoffs. And like I say, I don't know if y'all watched the video that I put out like 2 or 3 days ago. If you hadn't watched it, make sure that you go check it out on my channel, Big Low Kuntry Sports, and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't subscribed yet. But the thing is that Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski, they basically said that Arthur Smith and the coaching staff just don't know how to use Kyle Pitts. That's why, he took a big step back. And, a lot of people said, hey, guys, think about this. It was the quarterback play. The quarterback play was keeping Kyle Pitts from being successful. Well, who was the guy that was saying it was okay for this quarterback to continue starting? Arthur Smith, the head coach. So at the end of the day, it's on the coaches, Bo. At the end of the day, it's on the coaches. What's going on, Divin? Much love to you, fam. Much love to you. Good luck to your Eagles on Sunday, fam. Good luck to your Eagles. We're trying to get there ourselves. We were just having a conversation, looking at y'all salary cap, seeing how we could get in the same position that the Eagles could get in. Tanya Bowman says the Eagles copied their offense from the Ravens. They said to check for yourself. They just got Hurts and receivers. If Lamar had weapons, it's over. Man, that's you know what? That's crazy. I didn't think about that, but that offense is kind of similar, ain't it? That is true. Billy Mill says, how much our stadium costs? Exactly. we need Lamar, but we can still build and bring money in now. Just my thoughts. I understand that. And like I said, if it's one of those cases where they could work out some sort of deal, pay him a lot of money up front in bonuses, look, I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it. But, in the meantime, I ain't trying to leverage my future. It's one of those situations. You talk about how much the stadium costs, man. I know a lot of people who house poor. They got the big house. They can't afford to do nothing else. He's like, hey, y'all, let's get together. Let's go on vacation. Like, nah, we can't go. Our mortgage is $5,100. And, times are, these eggs are expensive. So it's one of those cases where it's like, hey, man, let's not spend too much on one aspect of life. Let's make sure that we balance this thing out. And like I said, if it's one of those situations where you can make it work, then make it work. For example, the Superman truck. I remember we were at the dealership. We were getting ready. We were talking about getting the truck. And the thing is that I was sitting there like, Coach Roney, I don't, it was too good to be true to me. I was like, Coach Roney, I would like to get this truck, but, I feel like it's too much money. And I was doing the whole negotiating thing. I would get up, walk out, and leave. After a while, Coach Roney was like, let's just get the truck. If you want the truck, let's just get the truck. Because it was one of those situations, I didn't want to put my family in a bad spot, right? I didn't want us to, say, I didn't want something to come up 2 or 3 months down the road and say, and I'm like, hey, man, dog, if we wouldn't have got this truck, I wouldn't be spending this blasé amount of money every month. My family would be in a better financial situation, but it was just too good to be true to me. So, I mean, maybe that's the case with Lamar Jackson. Maybe, we're sitting here with $50+ million, possibly 70 after a few cuts. And, we have a chance to get Lamar Jackson, but, maybe it's one of those cases where we're like, I mean, we would love to get him, but it just seems like it's too good to be true. And we got these other things that we need to take care of. So, I mean, yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Mighty Moss says, Big Low, I can't wait. I can't wait until y'all see the Saints sold y'all a lemon and Ryan Nielsen. Man, Molly Mall, I hear you, Bo. See that hate'll take you a long way. Dun, da, da. That's a Superman chat. You keep that hate, Molly Mall. It'll fuel you to many different things in life. Oh man. Y'all are crazy, man. Sherman Wood says, this season playoffs are never, but 2026 hopefully being a Super Bowl appearance, hopefully. Man, I'm trying to get there sooner than that, man. 2026 a long way away. Coach Bridget's in here. You know it's a party now. Coach Bridget's in here. She says, the question is, does Arthur Smith have the time to let a rookie develop? He's running out of time. We don't need another 7-win season. Hello. that's the thing, Coach Bridget. We're kind of in a quandary, right? I know some people, they get upset whenever people say, "Hey, Arthur Smith, is pretty much now or never," because it's pretty much a now or never situation. If he doesn't get right, then we may be moving on. I kind of completely agree with that, Coach Bridget. And some people get upset about it. Why they get so upset about it, I have no idea. Arthur Smith must be helping them pay bills or something, or maybe they're just not going to work. But the thing is that yes, we don't want another 7-10 season. We're trying to get to the playoffs. I think fans are starting to get frustrated, and for that simple reason, Coach Bridget, that might be why they may make a move. I mean, I just don't know, or we can continue following the plan that Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith were talking about whenever they got hired. And, they keep saying that they're ahead of schedule. So maybe if they keep following that plan, they'll develop. And I don't know what the plan is. I wasn't in the room holding the flashlight, but they'll develop, the young Thundercat and Desmond Ridder and put talent around them. That's how you sustain that long-term success. So we'll see, Coach. We'll see. But that's a great question. That's a great question. JJ says, ain't no excuses next season, Coach. Third year, third draft class, second most cap space in the league. Whether it's Ridder, Lamar, or someone else at quarterback, I'm expecting playoffs next season. That's what I'm talking about, bro. That's how you bring that fire to them. Appreciate that, JJ. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. But yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, man, it's like whoever you decide to go with, because once again, I go back to it, and I don't know if y'all feel like I do. I feel like this past season was a wasted season. I feel like I'm just being completely honest when I say Arthur Smith kind of his stubbornness wasted the 2022 Atlanta Falcons season. We could have done some different things if Desmond Ridder, and some people are saying, well, maybe Desmond Ridder wasn't ready. Well, our coach is supposed to be an offensive guru. If he couldn't get it done with Marcus Mariota, he should have had something ready for Desmond Ridder. Cut, dry, simple, and plain. If this is the reputation that you created for yourself, you have to live up to your own reputation. Cut and dry, simple, and plain. Derek White, he says Derrick Henry made Arthur Smith. You definitely could be right, Bo. You definitely could be right. Padre says we could have easily had a double-digit wins if we had a defense instead of. Everybody keeps saying Grady Jarrett's the only defense. But you know what though, Coach? Think about it. The second half of the season, the defense stepped up a whole lot more. We just wasn't scoring points. I mean, let's keep it a buck, Bo. We just weren't scoring points. Coach Dre says, Coach Low, aka Beloved, like an old mind song. And I'll be moving on. Move on. Or move my way. Moving on. Shouts out to Coach Dre, man. Oh man. Billy Mill says, Bridget, they was mad at you the other day. Who was mad at Coach Bridget? Hey, you can't be mad at Coach Bridget now. That's my buddy. Oh man, definitely, J Ma. Definitely, man. Definitely. Dirty Bird says, Last time we let a coach go and make a job saving moves, it torpedoed the franchise. Okay. I mean, one thing is that you have to have that continuity. That's one thing that Arthur Blank really pushes. Like, look, we're not giving up on a coach after a year or after 2 years. Now it's like year 3, your program should be in place, and I don't think I think we're I'm to me this is one of the years I've been the most confident before we've had the draft or made any moves. This is one of the years I'm the most confident that we're going to the playoffs. I'm just being completely honest with you. I've never been more confident that we're going to the playoffs. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, and Saints fans, I got nothing but love for you, but I really feel like the Saints are taking a step back. I feel like Tampa's taking a step back. And, you know, we don't know what the Panthers are, but we know that we got $70 million in cap space and we won 7 games with Arthur Smith. So, I mean, basically, since I have such a foregone conclusion that we're going to the playoffs, it's like if we go 7-10 again, I feel like that's like, okay, something got to change, right? In the words of Tupac, I see no changes. All I see is Corey Harris says Arthur Smith showed up kicking the door down, saying we're going to win. Now, if you're looking for a rebuild, you got the wrong guy. And you're right. And look, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all whenever I say, look, when Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot said, hey, we're trying to be competitive and we're trying to win. But whenever they did a postseason press conference, they said we're right on schedule, we're ahead of schedule. That doesn't sound consistent. Something's not matching up. If you told me before these seasons that you're trying to win and you're trying to go to the playoffs or you're trying to be competitive, and then we win 7 games 2 years back to back, and then it's we're right on schedule, that's when we have the issues. Tanya says, I'm a Ravens fan. He said you get what you pay for. Steve Biscotti don't pay our unanimous MVP and wins, and he had 48 and 15 in his career without help. Baltimore is rioting. That's facts. Bad business. I thought about that, Tanya. I was like, man, if they mess around and let Lamar go, first of all, it has to be a trade, and y'all have to get a straight haul. But if they mess around and let Lamar go, man, it's gonna be crazy in Baltimore. It's gonna be crazy, So it's one of those cases, man. It's one of those cases where I just hope I feel like the best thing for the cities of Baltimore and Atlanta is for them to just Lamar Jackson to stay in Baltimore. I feel like it's the best thing. I feel like it's the best thing. JJ the Great says, NFC South is a Mexican standoff, but with water guns instead of somebody gonna get wet. Appreciate that, JJ the Great. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Diblin, he says, Diblin says, if the Chiefs beat the Eagles, would you be shocked? Now, I wouldn't necessarily be shocked, Diblin, because I mean, at the end of the day, man, it like I said before, when we were looking at the Chiefs on over the cap, I mean, it's the Chiefs. You got Mahomes, you got Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he's done had the second most experience in the Super Bowls and in the NFC, I mean the AFC Championships games on only behind Bill Belichick. It's like if anybody could figure out how to get this win on Sunday, it would be Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So I wouldn't be surprised, but that's a good question. And I appreciate you for supporting the channel. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Oh man, Coach Dre says, Coach Low, aka Beloved. He says, uh be like that old saying and said something going on, and I don't know. We used to share this bond, but I fallen out of love with you. I don't know what to do. Yeah, man. It's time to move on. You know, somebody tell Archie Smith, just be a man about it. Oh man. That's why I said Archie Smith terrifying. Why you gotta lie to me? Just be a man about it. Oh man. Man. Yeah, man. This Super Bowl, this is a toss-up. It's a toss-up. I feel like it's gonna be one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a while. You know, I know the one with the Chiefs and the Bucks, it wasn't that good to me. But yeah, I feel like this one right here is gonna be really, really good. Derek White says Falcons don't have a legendary quarterback to ask where they at though. Well, I mean, the thing is, Derek, we don't know. We don't know if Desmond Ridder is a legendary guy or not. Right? It's kind of like whenever Drew Brees went to the Saints. You know, we knew he was good, but we didn't know he was going to be Drew Brees. He was just Drew Brees, right? We didn't know he was going to be Drew Brees. So, I mean, all we know is that he played 4 games and he didn't throw any interceptions at the end of the day. So we just gonna see how it goes. DJ ATL, what's going on, man? That's right. Go ATL. You already know what time it is, baby. Tanya says, King Son, you funny. You know you would want to go to the playoffs every season. Like that 2.0 Vic take us without a number 1 receiver. Bet that. So I ain't gonna be mad. We're gonna keep him. Yes. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Yes, I want to go to the playoffs every season. I got season tickets. I want to go to the playoffs every season. I want to call my ticket rep, you know, halfway through the season and be like, hey, go ahead, lock me in for my tickets for the playoff. That's what I want to do, you know. Meanwhile, it's like whenever the regular season over for the last 5 seasons, it's just been over. T-Man said, playoffs for what? He said, playoffs for what? So we go to the Super Bowl, bro. So we go to the Super Bowl. Excuse me. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's one of those situations. My mom says, Bridget, you know, we would get them and beat y'all twice. Oh man, y'all talk about Derek Carr. Ain't nobody worried about no Derek Carr, man. Ain't nobody worried about emo David Carr. Oh man. Sherman Wood says, in my opinion, the Falcons gonna run the NFC South for the next 4 years. Yes, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. I don't see why we couldn't run the NFC South for the next 4 years. You know? I could definitely see that. Elite Good says, how's the weather in the capital? Hashtag Atlantis. Well, look, if I was in Atlantis, bro, I'd be a whole lot wetter. But look, the weather is definitely good in the A, Atlanta. You know, I could go outside without a jacket on today. I didn't look to see what the official weather was, but it definitely feel like spring is right around the corner. Definitely feel like spring is right around the corner. But Just like Coach said a little bit earlier, yes, I could definitely see the Atlanta Falcons running this division for years to come. And it's one of those cases moving forward where if we make the right moves, we could definitely do it. If we make the right moves, we could definitely do it. Now, so I do want to let y'all know, make sure if you're watching this and this is your first time checking us out, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We're actually starting, we're going to be documenting the journey. I'm actually going to, I ran the 40-yard dash today because I'm going to be the next quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be the next quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. So make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Share the channel with your friends and family. Y'all want some good, wholesome entertainment. Y'all want some positivity. This is a positive Falcons content creator page. There's a few of them. There's a few negative ones, but this is a positive Falcons content creator page. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Also, like I said, make sure that you hit that like button and share the channel with your friends and family. I know that it's late and everything, so I ain't finna keep y'all up. But yeah, Coach Roney, she's actually trying to edit the 40-yard dash for us right now. So make sure that y'all check us out whenever we get ready to do that. And we're gonna sit down. We're gonna have a good time. I actually chopped it up with the brothers for the NFC South Roundtable. We're gonna try to get together, do an NFC South Roundtable within the next couple of weeks. So make sure that you're tuned in for that. And we're going to be doing a little bit of draft talk as well. So make sure that y'all check it out. In the meantime, I need y'all to stay safe. Please don't do anything that I would do. And look, man, y'all take it easy, bro. We're gonna be chopping it up this whole off season. Like I said, once again, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Because whenever we get together, you get a chance to check out some of the content that we have as we document me becoming the next Atlanta Falcons quarterback. Y'all stay safe, man. Please don't do anything that I would do. Y'all take it easy, man. We ready.